What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you stopping by the channel today. Where in this video, I want to talk about Anthony Richardson and some stuff that Anthony Richardson had talked about in his press conference. Also, stuff that Colts Nation has been talking about, right? A lot of people thinking he needs to change the way he plays. And there was a lot said in his press conference. I think his press conference was right around 22 minutes long. So there was a lot of stuff that he talked about. One of which was that he was going to start throwing again in February. That's probably going to happen, more toward the last half or the later part of February. From what it sounds like, some other stuff that he was talking about sounds like it'll be, more the end of February. But he is going to start throwing again soon, which is great news. And because of the injury and the fact that he's been sitting out all this time, like he said that he was planning to take a break in the offseason, which is what a lot of rookies going into the second year, it's time to take a break, right? Because when you're, coming into the NFL, whether you're a junior or senior, now you're coming to the NFL, you go from your season right into training for the combine. Once you train for the combine, there's I guess a little bit of space there, and then the draft happens. And once you get drafted, it's time for mini camps and the rookie mini camp at the beginning of the season, training camp soon after. So it's going to be nonstop for rookies. Anthony Richardson was planning on taking a break, but because of the injury and because he sat out for pretty much the entire season, right? He wants to get straight back to work and getting, back to throwing. Of course, throwing is the first thing and remembering what he's doing when he's throwing the ball, but then starting to work with the receivers at some point. And he said that his rehab is going to finish in early February. So that's what makes me think, we're talking about mid-February to late February where we're going to see Anthony Richardson throwing the ball again. And I thought that an interesting little note that he threw in was that he was hesitant about getting the surgery, right? Which I think was probably something that was reported on, something a lot of people thought. He didn't want to get the surgery because had he not gotten the surgery, maybe he could play, which wouldn't have been a good idea anyways. But of course, he ultimately ends up getting the surgery, which is going to be better for his long term. Everybody that he talked to had mentioned how it was going to be better for his long term health to go ahead and get the surgery. So he gets the surgery and should be good to go. And once he gets back on the field, is he going to change the way he plays? Well, he says that he doesn't believe he needs to change the way he plays, right? He took responsibility for the hit that ended up, causing him to miss the rest of the season, but also went on to say that it was just a routine football play. At the end of the day, like he could protect himself better, but at the end of the day, like he was just running him, trying to make a play, and the guy caught him from behind, and just the way he landed, messed his shoulder up. Right. He also took responsibility for the hit that caused a concussion. He talked about how, he slowed up just a little bit and he got popped, ended up hitting his head on the turf. And that's what caused him to get the concussion. So he took responsibility for that and understands what he needs to do in order for that not to happen in the future. But there were a few times where he had went on to mention that he knows that he needs to figure out, like, when is the right time to go make the play. Right? Like when you're trying to win the game and, when he's trying to win the game and he needs to go make that play, he needs to make that play. But I think what he needs to figure out was, and it sounded like he mentioned it multiple times. It sounds like he knows that he needs to figure out when to go down, when to go out of bounds, when to just not take that hit, right? He likes to play physical. He talked about enjoying playing physical. And you can see that when you turn on the tape, that he likes to play a physical game. But as he continues to mature, then I think we're going to see him start to really figure out how to protect himself. Lamar, really good at protecting himself. Josh Allen plays a physical game, but also over time has learned when the right time is to protect himself. So there's tape out there and there's different examples out there for Anthony Richardson to learn from, and hopefully he'll be able to do so. I think something that I really enjoyed about this press conference was through the entire press conference, whether he was talking about the injury or what he went through while not playing or talking about his teammates, like his maturity and his mindset that he has at his age, right? This is a guy that's 21, going to be 22 soon. Like it's very impressive the way he thinks and the maturity that he has about him and the way he can kind of see the big picture. So as I kept listening to the press conference, I was just like, dude, if this guy can stay healthy, like with his mindset and the work that he puts into it, and as much as it sounds like he cares about it, like we could have one of the best ever, really. Like anything is possible with Anthony Richardson. We just got to hope that he's able to stay healthy. If he is, we're going to be a problem for a long time. All right, especially if he continues to learn how to use his left hand. Right. He says he's had to learn how to do some stuff with his left hand because, the right shoulder was messed up, couldn't really move his arm for a while. So maybe he continues to develop that left hand and can do a little bit with the left hand. He said he isn't very good at throwing with his left hand right now, but that it is something that he has worked on a little bit. Said that he can only throw about 30 yards with his left hand and he's not accurate, which you would kind of expect. But again, anything is possible with Anthony Richardson. We'll see what happens in the future. Just glad that he's our quarterback and really just hope that our guy can stay healthy next season and as we continue to go forward, right? Got to be able to protect himself, but also, at some point, just got to be able to stay on the field, right? AC joint injuries can't be happening more. Hopefully the legs will be fine because he's a fun player to watch. He's a really good dude. Hope he's able to have some success in the future. But again, just to reiterate, he does not believe that he needs to change the way he plays, especially being the number 4 overall pick. He believes that he needs to play the way that they drafted him to play. And in the modern NFL, that's a mobile quarterback. All right, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are on all this. You let me know down in the comments section. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have notifications on for any more videos that we have coming out. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.